National Football League on EA Sports. And we'll see the Cowboys' towering wide receiver. No one's been busier this season as he currently paces the NFL in receptions. It's the Cowboys and the Commanders, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at our featured team here. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
"22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance." And we are underway from FedEx Field. CeeDee Lamb to return it from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They start on the ground with Elliott. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Review the play.
So take away the touchdown there, as that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 23 yards, the final tally.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year. 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get to a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples. examples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dalton Schultz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was the tight end Dalton Schultz on the touchdown reception to cap the drive. Fields it right around the goal line. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Wentz now to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division. Win the division. Win the division and win the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
That is caught by Lamb. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also,
and that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. from 3 yards out. And the Cowboys lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has helped them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Now Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's a punt return of 89 yards. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 21-0. It's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit.
Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it. But Washington left to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys.
Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a clinic. And as
Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC.
Well, here we sit, Week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the...
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well, no one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So it's all down to this, Week 18 on the NFL schedule. And that means that once we sort things out, we'll all be set for our second ever Super Wild Card weekend, which I think everyone agrees was a runaway success last year. We've got 2 games coming up on Saturday, 3 more on Sunday, and then we'll put a bow on it Monday night. Looking to throw again on second down. Wentz. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Now Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Commanders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott with career touchdown number 145, tying it with Marcus Allen for 6th on the all-time list. And the Cowboys have taken a 6-touchdown lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if I kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Washington on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing his Wentz. And he finds McLaurin. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. A give up the middle to Gibson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw, it's Wentz. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45.
Prescott's throw pulled in by Lamb.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. In motion goes the tight end. On 2nd down, Elliott.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Play action now, Prescott.
He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And they'll send the tight end in motion.
Elliott is in. Touchdown, Dallas. Well, I tell you, Ezekiel Elliott, he is just built like a bowling ball, and he powered his way into the end zone there.
I love that description of him because when you think about Zeke, you think about lower body strength and those legs churning and creating extra yardage.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Wentz to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate one fumble, too. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott.
And the Cowboys just continue to roll.
Marr now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Oh, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 7, Wentz. And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Brown with a stick skip. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys.
Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to...
And a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Commanders' offense set to take over.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
The mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon.
And the Cowboys extend their lead yet again. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wentz. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. Straight ahead, Gibson.
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded at the 20. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards.
And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Catch here, left side, Thomas.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Wentz to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So we have reached halftime here with a visiting Cowboys.
Only 2 quarters of football left in the regular season. Everybody's excited to get to the playoffs. So excited that we're just going to skip right over halftime and get back to the action.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Wentz. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Anthony Barr. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Brett Maher now for the Cowboy field goal from 28 yards out. The kick by Maher is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst night.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. He can run too. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. On the counter, Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Washington ready to try again on offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. After the sack on first down, Wentz. This to McLaurin out on the left side.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Throwing now is Wentz. Over the middle, open is Thomas. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within the shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. That punt return 66 yards, and it goes the distance. And the Cowboys are pouring it on.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Wentz going to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This will be fielded at the 17. A solid stiff arm. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this is going to set up a 1st and goal from the 5. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Now Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Let's give a little credit to the defense on that one. They resisted quite well, and that pass fell incomplete. But this ball game for him, that's just a momentary speed bump. He's played awfully well throwing the football.
Touchdown! A 5-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Wentz now to throw. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. In motion comes the tight end left. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at about the 1. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. When you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fields it right around the goal line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Wentz now on first down. And Thomas has it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Now Wentz. Oh, and I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Cowboys.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on here in the fourth. CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And it's a fumble, and the Cowboys have recovered.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Throwing, Prescott. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Marr able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Fields it right around the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Dante Fowler. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead,
and he's loose again. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
He returns that punt 73 yards. And the Cowboys have got it on cruise control.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you or what feels good to your team. You're down big, you really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Let's go.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Fielded at about the 28. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Well, CD, we are witnessing something that I never thought that I would witness. I would imagine you never thought this, too. I mean, we have a team taking the field in an NFL game, and they are up by triple digits. I mean, 50 is a lot, but to get to over 100, this is just crazy.
We've seen in the history of the game of basketball a few people score 100 points individually, men and women. But we've never seen this before in NFL history. We've only seen 2 teams combine for 100 points in a game 5 times in league history. One of the greatest games ever played, well, by one of the teams anyway.
A first down throw for Prescott. Out left, Ellison's got it. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Well, Prescott here to throw. Complete.